Hey guys, it's Michael, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to take a look at not necessarily my Squier Avril Lavigne Telecaster, but rather the pickup I installed in it. Because this is a pretty revolutionary and groundbreaking pickup design. It's made by Seymour Duncan, and it's called the P Rails. And you'll also find out why, if you have a single humbucker guitar that you're looking to modify, you might want to consider the P Rails pickup for this. So just a quick angle change and we'll be right back. Okay, so looking at the P Rails, you can tell it looks a little bit different than most humbucker pickups. It almost looks like a P90 bobbin combined with a rail-style single coil. Well, that's exactly what it is, pretty much. The rear bobbin is basically a P90 wound like a traditional P90, whereas the front coil is an Alnico-powered rail pickup. Basically a supercharged high-output Stratocaster pickup. That means when split to either coil, you get that corresponding pickup sound, which sounds like an authentic P90 or an authentic single coil, compared to, say, a coil-split humbucker. And then when you put both together, you get a choice of two different humbucker sounds. One is the traditional series-wound humbucker, which is good for hard rock, metal, punk, really any kind of music that requires a very powerful humbucker sound. Whereas the other one will be a parallel-wound humbucker, which gives you a more out-of-phase, honky, bubbly kind of sound. Good for classic rock, blues, maybe even country, depending on your amp settings. So I decided to install the P Rails in my Avril Lavigne Telecaster because it only came with one humbucker pickup with a little coil split switch, in position of the usual three-way Telecaster pickup selector switch. And I decided to install it on this guitar because I wanted the guitar to be more than just a one-trick pony, or maybe a two-trick. I actually started documenting the whole process, but never got around to editing and filming and finishing it. So now we can see the whole process unfolding here. I started by, of course, removing the strings, the original pickup, and the original knobs and the original control plate. I originally thought about reusing this switch, and I originally thought about reusing this switch as the split modes. So I thought maybe in the middle it could be the humbucker, in the bridge it would be the P90 sound, and in the neck it would be the single coil rail sound. Then I thought, you know, I might as well utilize all four settings. And so I ordered a four-way Telecaster switch on Reverb.com, thinking I could utilize that switch instead. Well, as it turns out, that wasn't meant to be. Watch this. Loose, huh? Here's why. Here's the old switch. I'm going to turn it over to compare it with the new switch. You can just make out the new switch right here is a bit taller than the old one, and thus it doesn't fit the cavity. With that in mind, I thought about maybe installing some push-pull pots, but ran the risk of those being too big. And then I found out Seymour Duncan makes the perfect companion piece for the P Rails pickup, the triple shot pickup mounting ring. First glance, it looks like a normal pickup mounting ring, of course, but look closer and you see these two little dip switches. The contacts for these switches go to the four wires on the pickup, allowing you to isolate one or the other coil, or combine them in full humbucker mode, series or parallel. Okay, let me turn this amp on. Everything's plugged in. And you hear that hum, right? Well, let's see, that should be series humbucker. Let's see if both coils work. P90 works. I'm actually going to do this, wait. Hold it with your other hand, dummy. Seems to work. Sounds like the tone works and the volume works. Listen. Volume off, volume up. Now, we'll try the parallel. Actually, let's try slug coil on. So definitely one coil is now active. Let's see if it's this one. Try this one. Adjustable coil. Should be only the P90. Only the rail. Sounds like that's the P90 though. Definitely sure went that route the first time. Also, you notice in the original before footage, the guitar only had one volume knob and an output jack and the switch. You might be wondering, how did I install a tone knob on here? I used the control plate from the Brent Mason Telecaster, which usually has 3 knobs. But in this case, I used it to put in 2 knobs and an output jack, which meant I wouldn't have to route the side here for an output jack like on a standard Telecaster. So tech talk over, let's plug the Tele in and hear all the P Rails sounds, from single coil to P90 to series humbucker and finally parallel or out of phase humbucker. One more quick angle change and we'll be back at it again. So there you go, with just one pickup and one mounting ring, I took a one pickup guitar and almost gave it the sound of 4 guitars in one, or at least 4 pickups in one. P Rails pickup was easy to install, you just have to know about soldering and how to do it properly. Luckily the instruction manual is very clear on how to do that. And while I'm not typically one for spoilers, I actually plan to install a P Rails pickup in another of my single humbucker guitars. So make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications so you'll see when that video comes out. I hope you guys liked this video or at least found it entertaining, and I'll see you next time. Until then, rock on. So split into each. Split. That means when split into each. That one's, nah. But then I decided, you know, I might as well use all 4. I might as well utilize all 4. And so I ordered a 4-way pickup. Also, if you notice in the original, also you notice in the before. Okay, so tech talk over. Let's plug the tele in and hear all the sounds. So in conclusion, with 4 sounds, so make you...